What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 squad? Welcome back into another video. We got a good one today. There's been a lot of people talking about this mock draft. I don't really know if it's a negative or a positive, but I heard that it's like wonky, it's crazy. Listen, it's Mel Kiper. He is the grandfather of mock drafts, but he is also consistently like one of the weirdest mock drafters out there, competing along with CBS Sports. So we're going to get into it right now. Quickly before we start, as always, if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We are just 15 subscribers away from 9K. Let's make sure we get there before the start of the Combine. And be sure to check out the sponsor right there on the top of your screen, BetUS. Check them out for a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. Your second and third are 125% as long as you use the promo code YouTube150. Let's get into it, guys. All right, so this website, I don't have ESPN Plus because I'm just not paying for ESPN Plus. It's just pointless to me. So I apologize, Mel Kiper. But I found a website that like kind of took his mock draft and posted it, but it's full of ads and I can't put ad block on it because it won't let you surf this website without with ad block on. So if ads keep popping up, I'm gonna try my best to get rid of them, but we'll see what happens. I'll try my best. So let's go into it. All right, number one overall. All right, so we're taking the best player available approach that GM Mike Borgonzi said that they're looking for a generational player and they're just not gonna skip out on one. And you could argue if there is even a generational player in this draft, but you could also chalk it down to they're just not gonna skip out on the best player available there in the draft with that number one overall pick. So Abdul Carter comes off the board here. Best player in the draft. They heavily need edge, so it makes sense. All right, Cleveland gets Cam Ward. I mean, falls right into their laps. I know they're dealing with a bad quarterback situation, and although they can go in different directions with a free agent, if Cam Ward is there, I would just take him. So if I'm Cleveland, I don't want them to because I'm a Giants fan, but it just seems like that's what they would do. I mean, it makes the most sense. So not too bad so far. Not too bad so far. The Giants, I'm gonna assume is like Travis Hunter or Shedeur Sanders. That's usually the only two picks I'm seeing nowadays. So let's go into it. All right, the Giants take Travis Hunter. So the Giants skip out on Shedeur Sanders. Interesting how wherever Shedeur Sanders is gonna go, probably to the Raiders. It's probably going to give an explanation of why he dropped, maybe, or maybe he just won't. He'll just talk about the player in himself. Hunter, other than Carter, might be the best player in this draft. He can play both ways, won Heisman and wants to play offense and defense in the pros. All right, so yeah, this is the pick that makes the most sense. If the Giants didn't have a quarterback need, this pick makes the most sense because the Giants desperately need a cornerback, and on top of that, they can definitely use wide receiver depth as well. The Giants don't have many wide receivers on the roster going into free agency, and with Darius Slayton potentially a free agent, it opens up a huge hole at wide receiver, even with Malik Neighbors present. So this makes the most sense for the Giants if they didn't need a quarterback, but it all depends if you want the Giants to force a quarterback pick or truly take the best player available. All right, so this isn't crazy so far. I heard it was a wonky one. All right, Will Campbell, 4th overall. Makes sense. I'm not the biggest Will Campbell guy, like he's not really up there with like the Penei Sewells, the Andrew Thomases, think of, any tackle that really gets drafted in the top 5 that is actually worth it. I like Will Campbell, probably the best tackle in this draft, but I can see other tackles outperforming him in this draft class. I just don't think he's like a top 5 guy, but the Patriots desperately need a tackle. They don't have literally anybody at tackle, and they desperately need one. So, and you got to keep your franchise quarterback upright. So it makes the most sense, although I don't really care for Will Campbell in the top 5. All right, Jacksonville taking Mason Graham, one of the most popular picks. I'm not seeing where this is crazy yet, but the top 5 is usually like kind of set in stone. You kind of just mix and match where you want these guys to go. So, all right, let's see here. Graham the tone setter. I think this is them. Okay, this is them giving their opinion. This is not Mel Kiper This is not Mel Kiper saying that where he wants these guys to go. So, Ashton Genty to the Raiders. Oh wait, so they don't take Shedeur Sanders. So even with Shedeur Sanders on the board, they don't take Shedeur Sanders. Interesting. They're gonna move away from him. So will they trade up for him later on is the question, or will like someone like the Saints take him? So Genty, they take a running back over a quarterback. Interesting. Yeah, I listen, when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, we'll get to him when we get to him. But yeah, there's valid reasons why he might not be a guy you want to take in the top 15. There's valid reasons why that you may not want to do that and not force a quarterback pick just to take one. So I like Shedeur Sanders. I just don't like him that much. You know what I'm saying? So okay, Shedeur goes 7th. All right, so he goes right. So the Raiders skip out on Shedeur, and the Jets pick him up, and this makes the most sense. My pro comp for Shedeur Sanders is, ironically enough, Tyrod Taylor, and I think he has a higher ceiling than Tyrod Taylor. That's not a insult at all to say his pro comp is like Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod, if the guy just stood healthy, if Tyrod could stay healthy, he's a starter in this league. He was starter level. He was the first quarterback since 1999 to take the Buffalo Bills to a playoff race in like the first time in 20 years. A playoff run for the first time in 20 years. Like, I like Tyrod Taylor. He's not like the prototypical quarterback. I think Shedeur Sanders has a way higher ceiling than him. I think Shedeur Sanders could throw for more yards than him per game. Tyrod has only had like 1 or 2 300-yard games in his entire career. Shedeur can definitely get more than that, but I just see their game very similar. So Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback there with the Jets right now, so he could be a great mentor to him. And Shedeur is going into a great situation. I don't know what's going on with Devontae Adams. What if he stays? I don't know, or even Alan Lazard, but they still have some good pieces there. Of course, you always have Garrett Wilson. You got Malachi. I can't remember his name right now. The wide receiver they drafted last year. And you have a good running game there with Breece Hall and company. So they're going into a good situation there, and they're working on that offensive line. Olu Fashanu is probably slated to be that starter at left tackle. He looks great. Carolina Panthers, Jalen Walker. I think this is a great fit for Jalen Walker just because they could use him at any point. They're letting go of Shaq Thompson. He can even come in and play linebacker truly for them, or he could play edge rusher like a lot of people kind of project him to be. I have a problem with Jalen Walker just for the sheer fact that he's projected to be an edge, and he's probably going to be drafted to be an edge, and he just doesn't have enough experience to be a top tier edge. Like how he plays right now as an edge rusher, you would not take him as an 8th overall. What you're drafting him on is your potential and his upside in coaching, because he's very new to being an edge rusher. He just kind of grades out to be a better edge rusher than a linebacker. So a lot of people are taking their chances, or a lot of people have teams taking their chances on him. But he doesn't know what he's doing yet. He doesn't know any pass rush moves. He's got great bend, great arm length, very good flexibility. Can turn the corner pretty well. So it's like he has all the tools there. You just got to put it together. All right, so this is nothing crazy. The Saints taking Tyler Warren. This is probably the first time I've seen that. Usually it's in the trenches, offensive line or defensive line. So interesting when Tyler Warren here, they go weapon here. Listen, the Raiders took Brock Bowers last year. Didn't really need him. They had Michael Mayer, who they drafted in the 2nd round last year. And they took him, and he had literally the best tight end season of all time. So you can just take a best player available in your opinion and watch it work out. It happens all the time. I don't hate this move at all. You just got to really figure out what you're doing on defense as well. But not a terrible move. Josh Simmons, 10th overall. Listen, I love Josh Simmons. I hope he's drafted. He's probably my favorite tackle in this draft besides him and Josh Connerly. Josh Connerly might be my favorite tackle in this draft, but as far as the top 3 tackles go, Josh Simmons is my favorite. But he's coming off of that injury that may move him down a couple of levels. This is right around the place I think he would be drafted at if he was completely healthy. I just don't know if he'll go 10th overall because of the injury. That he only played like 6 games last year. So yeah, I don't know, but I love the pick. Josh Simmons. to the Chicago Bears. A lot of mock drafts have Kelvin Banks going here over Josh Simmons because of the sheer fact of the injury. So, and Josh Simmons is a guy that I think is a tackle. Everybody says this draft class, all the tackles could be guards. I don't think Will Campbell's a tackle. I think Josh Simmons can be a guard if you wanted to, but he's definitely, I don't think Will Campbell's a guard. I'm sorry. I don't think Will Campbell's a guard. I think Josh Simmons can play guard if you want him to, but he's a good tackle. Leave him at tackle if you need him. And Kelvin Banks can move to guard, but he's a good tackle. Like the top 3 guys, I think just should stay at tackle. All right. Oh, so it's not going to give an explanation for the rest of them. So let's just go down the list here. San Francisco taking Will Johnson. Let's just do this. San Francisco taking Will Johnson out of Michigan. Great pick. I mean, everybody takes this. Dallas Cowboys going Omarion Hampton. Holy crap. Wow, what an overreach. Holy moly. You had guys like Armand Membu there who you definitely need some O-line help. Let's see. Shamar Stewart's a guy you could take. Mikael Williams, Tyler Booker. I mean, it keeps going on and on. We'll go one at a time. I'm going to force my mind not to look at the rest of these picks. But Omarion Hampton going to the Dallas Cowboys this high, 12th overall. I like Omarion Hampton a lot. But will Dallas fans be happy taking the second best running back off the board with the 12th overall pick when they have other pressing needs? Man, that's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. This almost seems like a Jahmyr Gibbs type pick, right? Wasn't that the 12th overall pick as well? Wasn't that the 12th overall pick? All right, Miami going Armand Membu. Shout out to my man Bro Schmo. He loves the Miami Dolphins. He loves Armand Membu. He wants Armand Membu to go to the Dolphins. So Mel Kiper grants him his wish there. Indianapolis Colts, Malachi Starks. I think it's a great pick. Great pick. The secondary's been neglected for far too long. They just need to address it with first-round talent. They haven't done that in quite a long time, and they don't have anybody at corner or safety right now. So Atlanta, Mike Green. This is a great pick for Atlanta, but it's a travesty Mike Green falls this far. I know he was looked at as being a late first rounder because there was a lot of size concerns. He came into last year in his final season at like 236, and then some people said that he was like 248, and then he measured in at the Senior Bowl at 255. Like, he's at a fine weight, and he's extremely explosive, extremely powerful, extremely quick off the line. I mean, this guy's an absolute freak of nature. I think he's going to go a lot higher than Falcon. I think he can go as high as the Carolina Panthers at 8, and or maybe even the New Orleans Saints. So I love Mike Green, but this is an Atlanta Falcons linebacker right here. This is Atlanta Falcons type edge rusher. Think like Takaris McKinley, Vic Beasley, like guys that are just freak athletes with a lot of burst and speed. That's Mike Green. All right, Arizona Cardinals, Shamar Stewart, good pick. This almost seems like a double dip with Darius Robinson. Darius Robinson is kind of like that inside-outside guy with a lot of like power and burst speed to power, you know. The guy they drafted out of Mizzou last year, he's like he's huge, like 6'5", 280, something like that, somewhere around the same size as Shamar Stewart. So double dipping there and having them both there, you may be lacking in speed, but you definitely got size and power there on that defensive front. So interesting pick for the Arizona Cardinals. Cincinnati going Mikael Williams. This is right around a good spot for Mikael Williams. They could definitely use a guy on the inside. I think they have Sam Hubbard still there. Do they still have Sam Hubbard still there? Is that his name? I always get it mixed up with him and another, Chris Hubbard and Sam Hubbard. I don't know. I think it's Sam Hubbard. And of course they got Trey Hendrickson there, who's amazing, a stud. I think they got B.J. Hill as a free agent right now. And I don't know who else they've got there off the top of my head. Chris Jenkins maybe out of Michigan, I believe, got drafted to Cincy. So this is a guy that can go inside, outside. He's another raw prospect out of Georgia. They produce a lot of great talent on the defensive line, but requires a lot of coaching. It's a good pick there. Seattle going Tyler Booker. This makes all the sense in the entire world to go ahead and go offensive line again. And Tyler Booker is like, this is right around a good spot for Booker. Tampa Bay Buccaneers going Jahad Campbell. easy pick because Levante David's probably going to be out of there. He's been in the league and with the Bucks for a long time, and just replacing him with Jahad Campbell is great. This guy has great movement. He can track a running back bouncing to the outside. He can cover tight ends, hitting the flats. He can cover tight ends vertically as well. He can read the run, play the gaps very well. I mean, he is an all-around package. I think he could bulk up a little bit if he wants to play middle linebacker in the NFL, especially in a system like Todd Bowles, where linebackers are very important. So I think he could definitely benefit from bulking up. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But that's a great pick there. Denver getting Colston Loveland. I had this in my mock draft as well. Very easy pick. Emeka Ibuka, another easy pick that everybody has. Holy crap, I forgot about my man Tet McMillan. Why is Tet McMillan just dropping off of boards? Why? Every mock draft, he's dropping off. What? You're going to tell me you're going to take Emeka Ibuka, a guy who I think you can target a lot. You could target him like 10 times in a drive, and he's just going to be consistent, a move, like a chain mover for you. You're talking about Tet McMillan, who is 6'5", 220 pounds or something like that, and could play in the slot. I mean, this guy can move like a smaller wide receiver, is a good route runner for his size, and can run after the catch. Like the guy thinks he's a slot guy. The guy thinks like he's Luther Burden or something like that. Who's also, I don't know if he's in the first round in this draft. I don't think. Wow, he's not. But Luther Burden, like he thinks he's Odell Beckham Jr. or something. Tet McMillan, like he's huge and can move so well. Think like Drake London almost. I think Drake London had lighter feet coming out of college, but like Drake London's hella good, man. And I can't believe I just said hella. Holy crap. But Tet McMillan should not be falling all the way. I mean, this is a great pick for the Chargers. You're getting like a Mike Williams on like crack, okay? Like Mike Williams 2.0 if he's going to the Chargers. Like, you're not going to ever miss Mike Williams. Like, he is going to be the way better version, souped up version of Mike Williams. Wow, him falling that far is a travesty. I think Daniel Jeremiah had around the same thing. Like, that is stupid, man. That is stupid. Green Bay going corner here. They're going Azariah Thomas. I haven't scouted Azariah Thomas yet. He is almost, I think I got like 5 more prospects before I really get into him. I just haven't seen him mocked in the first round enough to really pay attention to him. But I heard that he is okay. Nobody really likes him in the first round, so it's interesting how he goes this high up. So interesting there. We don't know what's going on with Jair Alexander, and even if they keep him, they should think about going corner as well. Minnesota getting Gray Zabel, awesome, makes all the sense in the world. Kelvin Banks falling all the way to the Texans. This is a surefire pick. They need offensive line help. Josh Connerly, great pick going to the Rams. You'll never miss Alaric Jackson. Josh Connerly, to me, is the best pure pass protecting tackle in this draft class. Think of Charles Cross coming into that 2022 draft. You had Evan Neal. You had Ikem Ekwonu, right? And Nick. You had Charles Cross going, I think, 9th overall to Seattle. And he was a 3rd tackle taken off the board, wound up being the better of those 3 because he was such a great, true pass protector. I think the same thing of Josh Connerly, and he was borderline the best offensive lineman in the Senior Bowl, along with Gray Zabel. All right, Baltimore Ravens going Nick Emmanwori. This is a great pick. Extremely a freak of an athlete at safety. And they can use some extra help on the secondary. It's getting a little older, but you're matching him up with a young, with a young Kyle Hamilton. So, all right, Detroit Lions going Olu Oladejo. I have not. I'll be honest with you. I have not watched this guy yet. Interesting. So no Nick Skirton. Like everybody else takes for Detroit right now. No Nick Skirton. I'm blanking on if there's any other outside linebackers that I'm missing here or like edge defenders that I'm missing here that were taken over him. I would have to look back at my cheat sheet, and I'm going to do that right now. Edge, Nick Skirton, edge, Mikael Williams, edge, Jack Sawyer. I'm not really a Jack Sawyer guy myself. Okay, so I guess he was like the next best up guy for the Lions there for in Mel Kiper's mock draft. So interesting. I have not watched this guy yet, so he's not even close on my list to watch. So don't know where he's supposed to rank at. I've heard of his name, but that's interesting. Washington Commanders going corner here. Interesting. Going corner, Maxwell Hairston. I thought they were Benjamin St-Juste. Washington fans absolutely hate Benjamin St-Juste. I forgot what was the nickname they gave him. Washington fans, put in the comment section below what you guys call Benjamin St-Juste. I can't remember. And then you also have Marshawn Lattimore over there, so who they just traded for. So you're going to add him into the mix. Interesting how they go Maxwell Hairston over Jedi Barron. I love Jedi Barron. I think he can go very high, somewhere in the top 15. He can definitely go probably as high as like Indianapolis, maybe. You know, I definitely consider him that kind of prospect. So Buffalo Bills get a great pick here. Shout out to them. Kansas City Chiefs going Ariante Ursi offensive tackle Minnesota. Heard of him, haven't watched him, and man, look who drops to Philadelphia. My God, they can't keep getting away with this.
You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it! He won't.
Yo, there's no way that Walter Nolan drops to Philadelphia. Good thing that this is scripted, all right? You never know what's going to happen in these drafts, but good thing this hasn't happened, because Walter Nolan going to the Philadelphia Eagles would him next to Jalen Carter. I mean, it's wraps. It's wraps for every quarterback in the NFC East. Interesting enough, we didn't see Luther Burden go in this draft. We didn't see Derek Harmon, who I'm a huge fan of. I think he can be better than Walter Nolan. We didn't see. Let's see, Nick Skirton didn't go. Let me look at my list here. Let's see, Derek Harmon. Kenneth Grant didn't go. Matthew Golden didn't go. Man, a couple of James Pierce. I think James Pierce is gonna fall due to like concerns, you know, off the field concerns and stuff like that. So that's why he's gonna fall. But man, interesting mock draft. Borderline diabolical. This is Mel Kiper for you guys. This is Mel Kiper for you guys. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. What do you guys think about this mock draft? This is a very interesting one. Maybe next time if ESPN releases a mock draft, I buy ESPN Plus if this video does well, because I really don't want to buy ESPN Plus for the life of me. So leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!